What if I told you that some of the so-called healthiest seeds sitting in your kitchen right now could be quietly aging you from the inside out? You've been told seeds are healthy. Tiny nutritional powerhouses, rich in fiber, loaded with minerals, packed with good fats. But here's the uncomfortable truth no one ever tells you. Once you cross 60, some of those same so-called superfoods can quietly work against you. They can stir up inflammation in your joints, slow down your digestion, thicken your blood, and even cloud your memory. It's the kind of betrayal that sneaks in silently, hidden behind labels that promise vitality and heart health. Before I begin to reveal these seeds to you, I must make this very clear. This video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult your doctor or qualified health provider before making any changes to your diet, supplements, or lifestyle, especially if you have existing medical conditions or take prescribed medications. You see, after 60, your body isn't the same machine it once was. Your metabolism shifts gears. Your cells repair slower. Your liver processes fats differently. What once fueled your youth can suddenly fan the flames of inflammation, fatigue, and brain fog. And that's why the one-size-fits-all approach to healthy eating becomes dangerous with age. Because not all seeds are friendly to the senior body, some can actually age you faster. Most people don't realize it. They sprinkle chia into their smoothie, munch sunflower seeds for heart health, or add soy to their salad thinking they're making smart choices. But here's the twist. Many of these habits are quietly sabotaging your efforts to stay healthy, energetic, and sharp. Seeds that seem harmless can interfere with your hormones, thicken your blood, spike inflammation, and leave you wondering why your joints ache even though you've been eating right. But there's another side to this story, one that's full of hope. Because while some seeds are troublemakers, others are miracle workers. Certain seeds have the power to heal rather than harm. They can balance your hormones, smooth out inflammation, boost circulation, and even sharpen your mental clarity. Imagine waking up with lighter joints, steadier energy, and a mind that feels just as alive as it did 20 years ago, all because you started eating the right kind of seeds. Today we're going to uncover them, the 4 seeds you should never touch after 60, and the 4 that can truly transform your health from the inside out. And by the end of this video, you'll understand something most doctors never explain, that aging gracefully isn't just about avoiding sugar and salt, it's about knowing which tiny foods can either protect your longevity or slowly steal it. Because what you eat now determines how well you age in the next decade. The choices you make in your 60s will decide the quality of your 70s and beyond. So before you reach for that handful of healthy seeds, let's separate the ones that nourish you from the ones that quietly drain the life out of you. After 60, your body becomes a different ecosystem altogether, a quieter, wiser system that's learned to adapt, but also one that demands more precision and care than ever before. The foods that once worked wonders in your 30s or 40s may now trigger a cascade of reactions you never expected. The digestion that once ran like clockwork becomes slower, the immune system more reactive, and your cells, those microscopic engines of life, begin to guard their energy more fiercely. This is why certain seeds, once hailed as superfoods, start behaving differently inside the senior body. It's not that they've changed, it's that you have. And understanding the shift is the key to protecting your health, your strength, and your mental clarity as you age. Let's start with the gut, the control center of everything from your immunity to your mood. After 60, your stomach produces less acid. That means the proteins, fibers, and minerals inside seeds aren't broken down as efficiently. What does that cause? Bloating, discomfort, and undigested particles that can irritate your intestinal lining. The same chia or flax you once digested easily can now sit in your gut like a rock, fermenting and feeding the wrong kind of bacteria. And when your gut is irritated, your immune system reacts. Chronic inflammation begins to whisper in your joints, your muscles, and even your brain. Then there's the matter of nutrient absorption. Your small intestine, once a sponge for minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc, becomes less absorbent over time. When you combine that with seeds that contain anti-nutrients like oxalates, phytates, and lectins, the problem multiplies. These compounds bind to minerals, locking them away from your bloodstream. So while you think you're feeding your bones and heart with healthy seeds, your body may be getting next to nothing, and sometimes even losing more than it gains. Take oxalates, for example. These tiny, invisible crystals are found in seeds like chia, poppy, and sesame. In moderation, they're harmless. But in a senior's body, where kidney function naturally declines, oxalates can build up, forming crystals that inflame the joints, kidneys, and urinary tract. That dull ache in your knees or stiffness in your fingers might not be old age after all. It could be your morning chia pudding quietly loading your system with oxalates your kidneys can no longer flush efficiently. Now let's talk about lectins, the natural defense proteins found in many plant foods, including soy, sunflower, and pumpkin seeds. Plants evolved these compounds to protect themselves from being eaten by insects and animals. But in the human gut, lectins can act like sandpaper, scraping away at the lining of your intestines, weakening the barrier that keeps toxins out of your bloodstream. Once that barrier becomes leaky, your immune system goes into constant overdrive, producing low-grade inflammation that affects everything. Your joints ache, your memory fogs, your energy dips, and your skin loses its glow. And that brings us to phytates, another quiet saboteur. Phytates love to grab onto minerals, especially calcium, iron, and zinc, and hold them hostage. For someone over 60, that's a problem, because your body already struggles to maintain bone density and muscle strength. Every time you eat seeds high in phytates without preparing them properly, soaking, sprouting, or roasting, you're unknowingly blocking the very nutrients your bones and muscles are crying out for. Here's where the confusion sets in. Most health advice paints seeds as universally heart healthy. The truth. That advice was built around younger metabolisms, people whose digestive fire is still strong, whose hormones are still balanced, and whose cellular repair is still fast. But after 60, everything slows down. Your pancreas produces less digestive enzyme, meaning fats and proteins take longer to break down. Your gallbladder becomes less efficient at releasing bile, which means those good fats from seeds can end up clogging rather than cleansing. And let's not forget hormones. Seeds are packed with compounds that can influence estrogen and testosterone levels, which might be fine when your body's natural hormones are balanced, but after 60, they're not. For example, soy and flax contain phytoestrogens, plant hormones that mimic estrogen. In a menopausal or postmenopausal woman, or in older men whose testosterone is naturally declining, this can lead to an imbalance that affects mood, metabolism, and even weight distribution. It's why some seniors experience stubborn belly fat or sudden fatigue even though their diet hasn't changed. Meanwhile, the oxidation factor adds another layer of risk. Seeds rich in polyunsaturated fats, like sunflower, sesame, and flax, can oxidize easily when exposed to air, heat, or poor storage. Once oxidized, those oils become inflammatory. They create what's called free radical stress, microscopic damage that attacks your cells, your arteries, and even your brain tissue. It's the same process that causes metals to rust or apples to brown, happening inside you. And after 60, when your antioxidant defenses are lower, that damage accumulates faster than you can repair it. This is why two seniors can eat the same handful of seeds, but experience totally different results. One feels vibrant and full of energy, the other feels bloated, achy, and fatigued. The difference lies not in the seeds themselves, but in how each body processes them. The senior body demands balance, precision, and awareness. What used to be a superfood in one decade can become a subtle toxin in the next. But here's where it gets fascinating and empowering. Because this isn't a message of fear. It's a message of understanding. Once you grasp how seeds interact with your changing metabolism, you can turn them into powerful allies instead of silent enemies. You can choose the ones that soothe inflammation rather than trigger it. You can nourish your bones, protect your brain, and stabilize your hormones simply by knowing which seeds your body welcomes and which it resists. And this is where most people get it wrong. They assume all seeds are heart healthy, all fats are good fats, and all plant compounds are anti-aging. But nature doesn't work in absolutes. It works in balance. The same seed that lowers cholesterol in one person can worsen arthritis in another. The same healthy snack can either heal or harm, depending on how your body has evolved with age. So now that you understand why seeds affect seniors differently, it's time to separate the truth from the trend. In the next section, we'll uncover the 4 seeds that could be silently harming your body after 60, and the shocking science behind how each one works against you. Because once you know the truth, you'll never look at that healthy handful of seeds the same way again. You might love sprinkling chia seeds into your morning smoothie. They look innocent, tiny, glossy, packed with fiber and omega-3s. Every wellness article praises them as a miracle food. But here's what doctors rarely tell you. Inside the body of someone over 60, chia seeds can become a ticking time bomb. When you pour those little black pearls into a glass of water, they swell, absorbing up to 10 times their weight in liquid. Inside your digestive tract, they do the same thing. That might sound like great news for fullness or detox, but in a senior gut that already digests more slowly, that expansion can turn disastrous. The seeds soak up water from the surrounding tissue, leaving your intestines dry, sluggish, and irritated. Instead of gently sweeping toxins away, they can clump together like wet cement, trapping gas and slowing movement. You feel that as uncomfortable bloating, the kind that doesn't fade after a walk or a cup of peppermint tea. It's pressure. It's distension. It's the feeling that your body is suddenly struggling with something it used to handle easily. And the more you try to fix it by adding extra fiber, the worse it gets. Because it isn't about the fiber, it's about how much water those chia seeds are stealing from your system. But that's only half the story. Chia seeds are also extremely rich in omega-3 fats, specifically ALA, the plant form of omega-3. Sounds great, right? Except ALA competes with omega-6 fats for the same enzymes in your body. If you already eat nuts, oils or grains that contain omega-6, and almost everyone does, your balance tips dangerously out of range. That imbalance fuels inflammation instead of reducing it. For younger people with resilient metabolism, it's often harmless. But for seniors, that same chemical tug-of-war can inflame arteries, joints, even the brain. Now, imagine layering medication on top of that. Many adults over 60 take blood thinners, aspirin, warfarin, clopidogrel. Chia's omega-3 compounds naturally thin the blood too. Combine the two, and you risk nosebleeds, bruising, or slower clotting times after even a minor cut. You wouldn't expect a healthy smoothie ingredient to do that, but it can. Doctors have seen seniors arrive with unexpected bleeding or dizziness, not realizing their morning chia ritual was part of the cause. And the irony? Most start eating chia to protect their hearts. Yet the same seed that's supposed to prevent clots can, in the wrong body, tip the balance toward danger. It's a quiet contradiction hidden in a teaspoon of superfood. You might be thinking, all right, I'll skip chia and just snack on pumpkin seeds instead. They're natural, they're loaded with zinc, they must be good for me. But here's where the second surprise begins. Pumpkin seeds have a charming story: roasted, crunchy, packed with magnesium and antioxidants. They've been marketed as a gentle tonic for prostate health, bone strength, and sleep. And yes, in moderation, they can help. But the human body after 60 is not a test lab, it's more like an orchestra, and everything must stay in tune. Eat too many pumpkin seeds, and suddenly the notes start to clash. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest plant sources of manganese, a trace mineral your body needs in microscopic amounts. Manganese supports bone formation, metabolism, even antioxidant defense. But here's the problem. After 60, the body doesn't regulate manganese as efficiently. It can build up, especially if liver function has slowed or if you take supplements that already contain it. Elevated manganese interferes with iron absorption and, over time, can accumulate in the brain. The early signs are subtle: fatigue, headaches, difficulty focusing. The later signs mimic neurological decline, tremors, memory lapses, mood changes that resemble Parkinson's. Few people would ever suspect their innocent handful of roasted pumpkin seeds. And then there's the digestion issue. The outer shells, if not fully removed or chewed, can scrape the intestinal lining like fine sandpaper. Combined with their natural phytate content, which binds minerals and irritates the gut, it's a recipe for bloating, constipation, or discomfort that many seniors mistake for just aging. Most people won't notice this when they're 40. Their stomach acid is stronger, their intestinal motility quicker. But at 60, when digestive enzymes have slowed, that same crunchy handful can linger for hours, fermenting, producing gas, and dragging the colon into overwork. And if you have diverticulosis, tiny pouches in the colon that become more common with age, those sharp little seed fragments can get trapped, sparking irritation or infection. So yes, pumpkin seeds can be nutritious, but not in the careless, endless quantities modern diets promote. The problem isn't the seed itself, it's the mismatch between its raw power and the body's slower, more delicate machinery after 60. Imagine it like this. In youth, your metabolism is a roaring fire. You can throw in almost anything, and it burns clean. But as the decades pass, that flame softens to a steady glow. It needs smaller, gentler fuel. Throw in something too dense, too oily, too heavy with minerals, and the fire sputters, producing more smoke than warmth. That's what happens when seniors overconsume seeds like pumpkin or chia. The fire of metabolism starts to choke on its own fuel. And this is only the beginning. Because the next seeds on our list, soy and sunflower, don't just irritate the gut or upset the mineral balance. They reach deeper, tinkering with hormones, blood chemistry, and even your brain's ability to stay clear and calm. You might think soy is the ultimate heart-healthy seed, the darling of modern nutrition. It's in your breakfast cereal, your tofu, your protein bars. It's the miracle plant that supposedly saves you from cholesterol, keeps your hormones balanced, and gives you endless plant-based energy. But here's what doctors rarely tell you. Soy is a biochemical shapeshifter. And once you're past 60, it can turn from friend to foe faster than you think. Inside every soybean lies a class of compounds called phytoestrogens, plant-based molecules that mimic human estrogen. They don't replace your natural hormones. They imitate them, weakly binding to the same receptors in your cells that your body's real estrogen would normally control. At first glance, that sounds harmless, even beneficial. For some people, these compounds might reduce hot flashes or keep cholesterol levels steady. But the senior body plays by different rules. In postmenopausal women, where natural estrogen levels have already declined, these phytoestrogens can send mixed signals. They can trick your body into thinking it has more estrogen than it does, disrupting the delicate hormonal balance that protects your bones, heart, and thyroid. It's like having static interference on a radio. Your hormonal signals start to distort. The result: weight gain that refuses to budge, unpredictable mood swings, and a subtle slowing of your thyroid that leaves you tired even after a full night's sleep. For men, the effects can be just as deceptive. As testosterone gradually declines with age, excess soy can tip the balance even further, softening muscle tone, lowering drive, and blurring the sharp edges of mental focus that used to feel effortless. You'll see men in their 60s doing everything right, exercising, eating clean, cutting out red meat, yet they can't shake off that stubborn belly fat. They don't realize the soy protein bars they rely on for heart health are flooding their system with compounds that compete against their natural hormones. And the danger doesn't end with hormones. Soy also contains trypsin inhibitors, natural chemicals that block your digestive enzymes from breaking down protein efficiently. When you're younger, your pancreas compensates. But at 60, with weaker enzyme output, that inhibition becomes a major obstacle. You eat soy thinking you're feeding your muscles, but your body may only be digesting a fraction of it. The rest ferments, feeding gas-producing bacteria and generating toxins like ammonia that stress your liver. Then there's the modern problem. Nearly 90% of soy is genetically modified and heavily treated with glyphosate, a herbicide that can disrupt gut bacteria and burden the liver. Two systems that are already more fragile with age. It's a toxic cocktail disguised as a health food. And if that wasn't enough, soy's high omega-6 content fans inflammation, especially when paired with other seed oils in processed foods. So yes, soy can look like a miracle food on paper, but in the real-life chemistry of an aging body, it can quietly undo years of healthy living. Hormones drift out of balance, digestion slows, inflammation creeps in, and the person left behind feels a little foggier, a little heavier, a little less like themselves. Now imagine you've moved past soy and decided to keep things simple. A handful of sunflower seeds, maybe sprinkled on your salad or eaten straight from the pack. They taste earthy, nostalgic, full of that rustic natural vibe we associate with health. But again, here's what most people never hear. Sunflower seeds are nutritional landmines when they're not handled properly. Let's start with their oils. Sunflower seeds are loaded with polyunsaturated fats, fragile fats that oxidize easily when exposed to heat, light, or even air. When they oxidize, they form peroxides, unstable molecules that trigger inflammation at the cellular level. Inside your arteries, that inflammation doesn't just stay quiet. It attracts cholesterol, thickens arterial walls, and slowly stiffens the heart's lifelines. You could be eating sunflower seeds for your heart, not realizing they're quietly hardening the very vessels that keep it alive. And the irony deepens. When these oxidized fats circulate through your bloodstream, they attack the membranes of your cells, from your liver to your brain. Over time, that can dull your memory, make your skin look tired, and drain your energy. The oxidation process is like rust for the body. And the older you are, the faster that rust spreads, because your antioxidant defenses are lower. Your cells don't bounce back as quickly. Every handful of rancid sunflower seeds adds one more spark to a slow-burning fire inside you. Now, let's talk about contamination. Sunflower seeds are often grown in soils that naturally accumulate cadmium, a heavy metal that the body has no real way to eliminate. Young kidneys can filter small amounts without too much damage, but senior kidneys? They're already working overtime. Every microgram of cadmium that enters your system adds to a toxic load that builds silently over the years. You won't feel it at first. But one day, your lab results show a slightly weaker kidney function, a little more fatigue, a strange metallic taste you can't explain. That's cadmium whispering through your bloodstream, courtesy of those healthy seeds. And here's another hidden truth. Most commercially sold sunflower seeds are roasted, sometimes at high temperatures that destroy their vitamin E and other antioxidants. What you're left with is a deceptively empty snack, all fat, little nutrition, and a dose of inflammation. Now picture this. You pour those seeds into your hand, thinking you're nourishing your body, fueling your heart, doing something clean. But each bite releases oxidized fats that irritate your blood vessels. Each handful adds to your body's heavy metal burden. And because sunflower seeds are often salted, you're also getting extra sodium, something that can spike blood pressure and retain water, especially if you're already on medication for hypertension. It's a perfect storm. The wrong fats, the wrong minerals, and the wrong assumptions, all bundled into something that's marketed as a snack for longevity. When you line them up, chia, pumpkin, soy, sunflower, you begin to see the pattern. These aren't evil foods. They're powerful substances that require balance, context, and respect. They're like medicine, useful in the right dose, dangerous in the wrong one. The tragedy is that most seniors aren't warned about this. They're told to eat more plants, add seeds for fiber, snack smarter. But no one tells them that their digestion, metabolism, and detox systems no longer operate like they used to. And so they do what they think is healthy. They sprinkle chia, snack on pumpkin, sip soy milk, and munch sunflower seeds, unaware that each handful, each scoop, is feeding inflammation, upsetting hormones, and overloading systems that no longer rebound easily. Then they wonder why their joints ache, why their energy fades, why they wake up more tired than before. They blame old age, never realizing it might be the seeds of their diet, quite literally, working against them. But here's the hopeful twist. Once you understand what's really happening, you can turn the tables. You can stop feeding the silent saboteurs and start choosing the seeds that heal. Because while some seeds inflame, others restore. Some accelerate aging, others reverse its visible and invisible signs. Now let's get to the best part of this conversation. We'll step into that truth. The 4 seeds you must eat after 60. The ones that protect your heart, your brain, your digestion, your immunity. The seeds that act not as enemies, but as allies for longevity. And when you discover what they do inside your body, you'll never look at a handful of seeds the same way again. Now that we've uncovered the seeds that quietly sabotage your health after 60, let's shift gears, because this is where the story turns hopeful. This is where food becomes medicine again. Where every sprinkle, every scoop, starts to rebuild what time tried to take away. You see, your body still remembers how to heal. It hasn't forgotten. It just needs the right tools, the right nutrients, to awaken that memory. And sometimes, the most powerful medicine isn't in a pill bottle. It's in the smallest seed on your kitchen shelf. Let's start with one that looks ordinary but behaves like a silent hero, flaxseed. Most people underestimate flax because it's so unassuming, a tiny brown speck you can barely pick up with your fingers. But once it enters your body, it becomes a cleansing, healing force. Flaxseed is nature's gentlest omega-3 source, a plant-based version of the same heart-protective fats found in fish, but without the risk of mercury or heavy metals. And for seniors, this matters. Because omega-3s don't just support your heart, they keep your blood flowing smoothly, your joints moving freely, and your mind sharp. They literally lubricate your body from the inside out. But that's not all. Flaxseed is also one of the richest sources of soluble fiber, the kind that grabs hold of excess cholesterol in your intestines and escorts it out of your body before it ever reaches your arteries. Over time, that simple process can help reverse years of silent buildup, unclogging, cleansing, renewing. And if constipation has ever been a quiet, frustrating battle, flax is your ally. It softens and regulates without strain, without dependency, without drama. Yet, what makes flax truly special is its balance. It doesn't overwhelm your body, it harmonizes with it. It doesn't inflame, it soothes. It's one of those rare foods that works with the rhythm of aging instead of against it. Every spoonful is like a tiny reset button, a message to your body saying, you can still thrive. Now, as we move from the soft, earthy flavor of flax to something richer, more ancient, we meet the sesame seed, one of the oldest foods known to humankind. In ancient Egypt, sesame was ground into sacred pastes. In Asia, it symbolized strength and endurance. And for good reason, this seed is a mineral powerhouse. Inside those tiny beige shells lies a concentrated source of calcium, zinc, magnesium, and copper, the very nutrients your bones crave as you age. After 60, when bone density begins to slip and joints start whispering their complaints, sesame steps in like nature's scaffolding. Its calcium helps keep bones strong and steady. Its zinc and magnesium nourish the cartilage that cushions every step. Its copper supports collagen, the same protein that keeps your skin firm, your joints flexible, and your blood vessels resilient. And here's the best part. Sesame seeds contain compounds called lignans, natural antioxidants that lower blood pressure, balance hormones, and even support liver function. When roasted gently or blended into tahini, sesame becomes more than a food, it becomes a rejuvenator. A daily ritual that rebuilds quietly from within. But we're only getting started. Because next comes a seed that feels modern, but carries ancient wisdom in its genes, hemp seed. Hemp is the closest thing nature offers to a perfect food. Its protein profile is almost identical to what your body actually needs. Complete, balanced, effortlessly digestible. For seniors, that's priceless. Because after 60, digestion slows, and protein absorption becomes more difficult. Hemp bypasses that barrier. It delivers essential amino acids directly to your muscles, your immune cells, your organs, fueling repair and regeneration without taxing your system. And its fats? They're a masterpiece. Hemp contains the ideal ratio of omega-3 to omega-6, a balance your body can use to calm inflammation rather than ignite it. That means lower blood pressure, smoother arteries, clearer skin, and joints that wake up without complaint. It also feeds your brain. Literally. The fatty acids in hemp seeds support the myelin sheath that protects your nerves and enhances memory. They help you think sharper, recall faster, and stay present longer. What's remarkable about hemp is how clean it feels in the body. No heaviness, no sluggishness, no irritation, just pure, sustained nourishment. It's like your cells finally exhale in relief. And yet, we've saved the most mysterious for last, black cumin seed, also known as Nigella sativa, the legendary seed of blessing. Prophets spoke of it. Ancient healers guarded it. And modern science is now catching up to what history already knew. This seed is extraordinary. Black cumin contains a compound called thymoquinone, a natural antioxidant and anti-inflammatory so potent it's been studied for everything from immune support to cellular protection. For seniors, it's like a shield, one that strengthens your defenses from the inside out. It helps balance your blood sugar, ease joint stiffness, and support respiratory health. It even enhances liver detoxification, helping your body process medications and toxins more efficiently. But beyond the science lies something poetic. Black cumin has been called the seed that cures everything but death. And while that might sound dramatic, anyone who's felt its effects knows there's truth in the legend. Taken daily, even in small amounts, it seems to lift a fog, energizing the body while calming the mind. It's the kind of seed that reminds you that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean awakening. And when you bring all four together, flax, sesame, hemp, and black cumin, something remarkable happens. Your body starts to feel younger in ways that go beyond numbers or charts. Your energy becomes steadier. Your digestion feels lighter. Your mind clearer. You begin to sense that quiet vitality again, that spark you thought time had stolen. Because these seeds don't just add years to your life, they add life to your years. They're the difference between aging and thriving, between surviving each day and truly living it. And the best part? You don't need fancy supplements or complicated routines. Just the wisdom to choose the right seeds, and the courage to let your body heal, one spoonful at a time. After 60, every bite becomes a decision that echoes into your future. Every handful, every spoonful, either nourishes your years ahead, or quietly steals from them. You've seen now how something as small as a seed can change everything. How it can either ignite inflammation, or restore vitality. How it can cloud your mind, or sharpen your focus. Your body is always listening. Every choice you make, it remembers. So when you choose wisely, when you feed it what it truly needs, it responds with gratitude. More energy in the morning. Less stiffness when you move. Clearer thoughts, calmer moods, steadier strength. These are not miracles. They're the rewards of awareness. If this video opened your eyes, if it made you pause and think, maybe it's time I looked closer at what's really on my plate, then let that awareness spread. Give this video a like and share it with someone you love. Because too many seniors are unknowingly sabotaging their health with the wrong superfoods. They deserve to know the truth before it's too late, and you could be the one who helps them turn their health around. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. It's about realizing that aging doesn't have to mean decline. That even now, you can take back control of your health, your strength, and your future. Because the truth is, your body still wants to heal, it's waiting for you to give it permission. So don't let this be just another video you scroll past and forget. Make it the moment something shifts. Start with one seed, one meal, one choice today, and watch what happens. And if you want to keep uncovering the science, the secrets, and the simple, life-changing truths that can help you age stronger, sharper, and longer, subscribe. Join this community of people who believe aging can be powerful, not painful. Because your future self is watching, and it will thank you for every smart choice you make today.